Travelers along the path of the beam. I am known on this level of the tower as Jaime in Fuego, and if it please you, join me here for some brief palaver on Hail to Stephen King, my favorite author. As you can see by that tower of tomes behind me there, Sai King is indeed my favorite author. Welcome to the horror show. You can just call me Fuego for short. And this is a very special Hail to Stephen King news bite, because today, on the 31st of January, in the year of 19, and all Sai King fans, all tower junkies, constant readers, you know how important this year is in just everything in the Kingverse, so to speak. And we've been waiting for it, and we were anticipating it, we were assuming it was going to be happening, and today was the day. At StephenKing.com, yes, El Rey announced his newest book coming out this fall, well, just before the fall season starts. In his birthday month, in my birthday month, on September 10th, we are officially getting the 576-page The Institute. Yes, interesting, right? And it has this description of as psychologically terrifying as Firestarter, and with the spectacular kid power of it. King hasn't written about children in quite a while. The Institute is Stephen King's gut-wrenchingly dramatic story of good versus evil in a world where the good guys don't always win. Interesting, right? So now I go into this kind of synopsis that they have, so check it out. In the middle of the night, in a house on a quiet street in suburban Minneapolis, intruders silently murder Luke Ellis's parents and load him into a black SUV. The operation takes less than 2 minutes. Luke will wake up at the Institute, in a room that looks just like his own, except there's no window. And outside his doors are other doors, behind which are other kids with special talents, telekinesis and telepathy, who got to this place the same way Luke did. Kalisha, Nick, George, Iris, and 10-year-old Avery Dixon. I'm assuming he's going to be of importance. They're all in front half. Others, Luke learns, graduated to back half, like the Roach Motel, Kalisha says. You check in, but you don't check out. In this most sinister of institutions, the director, Mrs. Sigsbee, and her staff are ruthlessly dedicated to extracting from these children the force of their extra-normal gifts. There are no scruples here. If you go along, you get tokens for the vending machines. If you don't, punishment is brutal. As each new victim disappears to back half, Luke becomes more and more desperate to get out and get help. But no one has ever escaped from the Institute. So check it out, peeps. This is going to be very brief. This is my just initial reactions, predictions, all that different jazz. So obviously being the year of 19 and the fact that when he was on his Sleeping Beauties book tour with his son back in 2017, I was really hopeful that this would be whatever he decided to release in the year of 19 would be something Dark Tower related. And I have a Facebook group called Hail to Stephen King as well, where every day of the week we talk all things Sai King, all things El Rey, Tower Junkie stuff, everything else under the sun, Sai King. And there were people initially saying, God, I was hoping it would be a Tower book, so on and so forth. Well, check it out though. So initially, when I heard this synopsis, I'm like, okay, he's going back to the well, because everybody knows Stranger Things, okay? 11, the gifted kid, taken in, you know, by the government agency, all this other stuff. So I was like, is Stephen King really emulating the people who were in turn emulating him because it's the fashionable thing to do? You know, because Stranger Things very liberally borrowed and was an homage, not just to Stephen King, but Spielberg and all kinds of awesome 80s-ness and stuff like that. But, you know, upon further consideration, I started looking at the grand picture of how this could all tie into the Kingverse. So they're called the Institute, but couldn't the Institute very much be an offshoot or a rebranding of the shop, which were responsible for the rift that let all the crazy creatures in the mist out, that were after Charlie and Firestarter, that were in the golden years? We won't talk about that. But so is this a just new offshoot, a new rebranding, whatever it could be? That could be dope. Or do they have ties with, you know, I don't know, some nefarious people, perhaps these children are going to be used as breakers and released ruined. I mean, this could have some serious tie-ins with the tower, and just with a very ambiguous title like The Institute, you don't really know. And thank goodness it's a 576-page book. I love when King goes large and in charge. Last year, The Outsider was amazing. I was not as big into Elevation, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I am just here to say that for my birthday in September, and for all of us in the year of 19, we are indeed getting a new Sai King novel that could indeed prove to be something much, much bigger in the Kingverse than you or I could potentially predict. So, I have been Jaime and Fuego. You can find me doing this show twice a week, usually every Terrifying Tuesday and Scarific Saturday, but this just had to be documented with the quickness because I was just elated when I heard this news earlier today. If you want to see the full press release, go to stephenking.com and you can get all of the details there. I first read about it on Bloody Disgusting, but yes, here on The Horror Show, we do 2 episodes a day, at least for the time being, but there's some Patreon stuff where you can see additional content as well. Please hit the bell so you get notifications if you're a subscriber anytime we put up new content. I've been Jaime and Fuego. You can find me on all social media sectors like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and all too often talking about all things Sai King, including Dr. Sleep being moved from January to November 8th in the year of 19. So much going on. It Chapter 2, Pet Sematary Remake, In the Tall Grass, Creep Show. God damn, it's going to be a truly blessed year for all of us Tower Junkies and constant readers. So until the Wheel of Ka comes around once more, I say hasta luego, sin amigos, constant viewers alike. I hope that we get further palaver sooner rather than later. We have surely been well met. Say thank you. And until then, remember, stay scared. And read Stephen King, because guess what? Yeah, you have until September to get as caught up as you can before the Institute, if I could say it, the Institute is upon us.